Here we have number of pendulums. Keep watching, and here a magic begins. We have a beautiful pendulum wave. The mystery behind this magic is revealed at the end of this video lecture, so keep watching. Hello all, hope so you are enjoying lecture series on physics, in which we are talking on various topics of physics and some interesting facts. In previous lecture we have discussed about Lagrange and what is Lagrangian equation. We have also seen how Lagrangian equation is derived from virtual work and D'Alembert principle. So now we are going one step further, and in today's video we are discussing simple application of Lagrangian formulation. Here we are considering two examples. First one is particle in space and the second one is simple pendulum. So let's start. The end of the previous video was this. We have seen what is Lagrange or what is Lagrangian. The Lagrangian is denoted by capital L and it is T minus V, where T is the kinetic energy and V is the potential energy. And we derived this equation, which is known as Lagrangian equation, that is d by dt, that is time derivative of d by L by d by Qj dot bracket complete minus d by L by d by Qj is equal to 0, where we have seen that L is Lagrangian and Qj are the generalized coordinate and Qj dot are the time derivative of generalized coordinate. From this equation we can formulate a mechanism to solve a system. For that we first should know what is kinetic energy and potential energy of that system. So we can first find kinetic energy and potential energy in the form of generalized coordinate of that system. If there are many particles in that system, then the kinetic energy will be the sum of kinetic energy of individual particle, and the potential energy will be the sum of potential energy of the individual particle. Then we can define Lagrange, that is T minus V, like this for that system. Once we have Lagrangian, then we can put that Lagrange in Lagrangian equation and we can find the equation for that system. So this is the mechanism to solve any problem of a system with the help of Lagrangian equation. So let's start with a simple example, which is particle in space. So what is particle in space? Maybe this question comes in your mind. So as title describes, it is a simple one point object which have mass that is in space. In space means there is only a gravitational force which is acting on that particle. So consider a particle of mass small m in space and a gravitational force is acting on that particle. This is one simple example. Therefore, for our simplicity, we are considering that the air resistance on the particle is negligible or it is almost 0. And for simplicity, we are considering that the potential is time independent. So if you have to imagine how the particle looks like, then it is something like this: a simple object or a particle which is in space. Space means there are no other bodies near to that particle. If there are some bodies or some other objects near to that particle, then those particles will also exert some force on that particle and the system will become complicated. So here, for as it is our first example, we are considering a very simple system, which is a particle in a space. So this is a particle which is in space. First, before start of our problem, we have to assume some things which could be the reference frame or the necessary things required to solve the system. So the first of all, coordinate system. We have to fix a coordinate system which will be easy to solve. So we all know that if this is a particle and it is under gravitational force, it has motion along vertical axis. So the simplest system, coordinate system, which we can choose will be a Cartesian coordinate system, as I shown here. This is the three-dimensional coordinate system which have x, y and z coordinate. But here we will require only one coordinate because the motion is along only y axis. But to understand the phenomena, I have described three coordinate. So this is the one part. First of all, we have to choose coordinate system. After that, we should fix one point, means where this coordinate system is placed. So we can fix a surface to this particle. Imagine you are throwing some ball from a building. So you can study that ball by standing on the building, means by considering yourself you can study that ball, or you can study that ball by imagining that you are on the ground. Means if you are on the building, then ball is going away from you, and if you are on the surface, then ball is coming towards you. So you have to fix a reference frame to study the system. So for this particle in space, we can either fix one of the surface. The first surface could be on the top, or the surface could be at the bottom. So in this example, we are studying both the cases, and you will get what are the changes will happen if we change our reference frame. It will give an insight of the system. So first, let's consider that the surface is on the, or it is above the particle as shown in figure. As we discussed earlier, the first thing we have to do is find kinetic energy. We all know that kinetic energy, that is T, is equal to 1/2 mv square. Now if you observe our coordinate system, the particle is going downward. It means the changing coordinate is only y coordinate, or we can show that the displacement is y, or a displacement can be shown by the y sign. We also know that velocity is nothing but rate of change of displacement with respect to time, and again the time derivative can be shown by dot sign, means velocity is y dot. So we have kinetic energy which is 1/2 mv square, that can be shown by this equation, that is T is equal to 1/2 my dot square. So the easy part is over. Now there is a little bit tricky part, and that is potential energy. Now the potential energy depends on the environment in which the particle is situated, or the equation is depend on how we are looking towards that particle. In our case, we have placed surface above the particle, and from there we are calculating height of that particle. So you all know that the potential energy due to gravity is given by mgh, but as you can see here, I have put negative sign with the MGH equation. Why is that? If you want to think on it, you can pause video and answer the question. So let's think. Okay, so answer is this. As you can see, or you all know, that potential energy is the capability of a particle to do some impact. Let's imagine you are standing on a building, and from there if you throw a stone downward, then when the stone comes down and hit the ground, then it will have the maximum capability to do damage. And if that stone is thrown from very less height on the ground, then that stone will have very less capability to do damage. It means that as bigger as the h, as more as the potential energy of that particle. But in our case, what is happening? If the particle is on top, then in our case h will be minimum. Imagine that particle is here, then at this position h will be less than this h. It means that if in our case, as we have chosen the surface, if the h is less, then the potential energy is maximum. So how to accumulate that? So now let's imagine here we have h and it is represented by some numbers. Now if my h is smaller, then my potential energy is bigger. So how to accumulate that? Think. So the answer is that simply put a negative sign. If there is no negative sign, then 2 is smaller than 8. But once I put negative sign in front of this number, then minus 2 is a bigger quantity than minus 8. So similarly, in this case, if my h is small, then this whole thing or a whole quantity will become a greater quantity. And if my h is bigger, then in that case this whole quantity will become smaller quantity. Okay, so you have answer that our h that we are measuring from top, and that's why if h is small, the potential energy is bigger, and to accumulate that we have put the negative sign. So each time when you start to solve problem, you have to study your system. Once you understand your system, you can put right quantities and right sign, and your answer will be correct. So let's start further. The tricky part is over, and again there is a simple thing remaining, and that is Lagrangian. Lagrangian, you all know that Lagrangian is T minus V. So that is 1/2 my dot square minus of minus mgy, so it will become plus mgy. So the Lagrangian is 1/2 my dot square plus mgy. Lagrangian equation says that time derivative of d by L by d by Qj dot minus d by L by d by Qj is equal to 0, where Qj are generalized coordinate. If you observe our system, in our system there is only one coordinate which is active, and that is y coordinate. So we can replace Qj by y coordinate. So the modified Lagrangian equation for our system will be d by dt d by L by d by y dot minus d by L by d by y. So what we have done here, instead of Qj dot we have replaced it with y dot, and instead of Qj we have replaced it with y. So in this equation we will require two quantities, that is partial derivative of Lagrangian with respect to y dot and partial derivative of Lagrangian with respect to y. So let's find those derivatives. The first one is this. As you can see, this is our Lagrangian. This is our Lagrangian. If you derivate with respect to y dot, there is only one term which includes y dot, so the derivative of that term will be 1/2 multiplied by twice of my dot. So the 2 and 2 will get cancelled and the remaining answer will be this partial derivative with respect to y dot, which is equals to my dot, and this term does not include y dot term. That's why the derivative with respect to y dot of that term will be 0. So the first term is calculated. Now second term, that is d by L by d by y. This is that term. Again we have to partially derivate Lagrangian with respect to y. First term does not include y term, that's why the derivative of that term will be 0. So only term we have to consider is second term, that is mgy, and the derivative of that term will be mg, as we have found here. Now as both the derivatives are found, we have to put those derivatives in this equation. So we have this time derivative of my dot minus mg, and time derivative can be shown by dot. So here y is a changeable quantity, y is changing with respect to time, m is a mass which is a constant quantity, so the time derivative of m will be 0. So what we have done here is we have used uv rule, derivative of uv, where m is u and y dot is v. So it says that time derivative of uv will be m derivative of v plus v derivative of m, and as I said, the time derivative of m will be 0, and that's why we have this term my double dot minus mg. I am taking minus mg on the right side, so it will become plus mg, and finally we have equation that my double dot is equal to mg. Now let's discuss. So this is our final Lagrangian equation for our system. So is it correct? How to analyze it? Let's discuss that. In Newton's law, we have seen that force is given by ma, where m is the mass of a particle and a is the acceleration. So here we have that term. On, if you see on left side, we have my double dot. Y double dot is nothing but acceleration, means ma. It means this term is giving us force. In our case, in our system, the particle is going downward, so obviously what should be the acceleration of that particle? Okay, correct. The acceleration should be acceleration due to gravity, and which is small g, and that's what we have found here. My double dot, that is force on a particle, is equal to mg, and hence we have solved our system correctly. Now take a bit rest. We are switching to the next system. Okay, so here is second system. System is same, just we have replaced our surface from top of the particle to the bottom. Now we are calculating, or we are considering height from the ground. Again, the kinetic energy, as I described, is a simple quantity, that is T equal to 1/2 mv square, which eventually gives us 1/2 my dot square. Now again, the tricky part, as we discussed earlier, that is potential energy. Potential energy is mgh. In previous example, we have put negative sign to this, but here we don't have to do that, because as you can see here, if a particle is above, it will have a maximum potential energy, and also it will have a maximum h. Means if h is bigger, potential is bigger, so we don't have to put negative sign. It is going likewise in this equation. If you can see, if h is bigger, our potential energy will be bigger. So we have kinetic energy, we have potential energy, so we have to find Lagrangian, and that is T minus V. That will be 1/2 m y dot square minus mg y. The remaining task you all know. We have to find the Lagrangian equation. So here it is. First we have found this bracket term, which is my dot. Then we have found this term, that is partial derivative with respect to y, and that is minus of mg. We have put those two terms in Lagrangian equation, and we have found that it comes out to be my double dot minus is equal to minus mg. If you compare this equation by previous equation, then you can see that here we don't have negative sign to mg, and when we replace the surface to the bottom, then the equation comes up with a negative sign, as you can see here. So why is that? Now let's discuss it. In this system, what is happening? In this system, if you observe our coordinate system and our motion of a particle, then you can see that particle is going against the y-axis, means it is decreasing on the y-axis. So it means that the motion of a particle is opposite to the y-axis, and that's why here comes a negative sign. Means acceleration in the negative direction is increasing. And if you see in our previous example, then you can find out that the motion of a particle is along the y-axis, means it is going further in a y-axis, means in a increasing manner of a y-axis, and that's why the acceleration or force is a positive force. You all know that if force is opposing, that it has a negative sign, or if it is in a direct direction, then it has a positive sign, and that's why here a particle is moving in a positive direction of a y-axis, that's why it has a positive sign. And in next example, when we are fixing our surface to the bottom, then the particle is in opposite direction of a y-axis, and that's why here we are getting negative sign. So both the time the answer is correct. As you can see that the sign is different, so one could be think that his answer is incorrect, but the answer is correct. Only you should choose your surface correctly. Once your surface and your answer is matching to each other, then you can get a full mark in exam. So the main thing while solving this problem is that fix your coordinate system and study your system. Once you understand your system, then your answer will be correct. Now let's start our second example, that is simple pendulum. Before starting to solve our system, let's comment on simple pendulum. What is simple pendulum? So a simple pendulum is a solid bob of mass small m attached to a surface by massless string, and the bob is in a motion, that is to and front, along an angle theta, and that angle is made to the surface where the string is attached to the surface. And this simple pendulum do not have any air resistance, and that's why it has a fixed period. And what is period? You all know that when a particle is repeating its motion in some specific interval of time, then that interval of time is known as period. So simple pendulum have a specific period and its motion is repeating itself. So it looks like this, as shown in figure. The length of the string is small l. It is moving up front and backward with an angle theta. When the bob is in front direction, then it makes some height with its rest position, and that height is indicated here. When this bob comes here, then it is at some height from the rest position, and that height is denoted by small h, and this string will have the same length, which is small l, and the displacement done by that bob is indicated by s symbol. So we have quantities, that is small l, that is the length of a string. We have theta, in which the bob is moving, in which angle the bob is moving. We have small h, that is the height from its rest position, and we have s, it indicates the displacement of the bob. Now let's start our problem. As we discussed, the first step is to find the kinetic energy. You all know that kinetic energy is 1/2 mv square. V is the rate of change of displacement with respect to time. In our case, the displacement is indicated by s sign, and that's why rate of change of displacement will be s dot. Here we have velocity square, and that's why we have kinetic energy as 1/2 ms dot square. But now from geometry you can see that this is an arc, and this arc will be equal to the product of radius, where in this case radius is l, small l, and the angle, which is theta, means the displacement is equal to l multiplied by theta. And obviously s dot, that is the time derivative, will be l theta dot. As again, here we can consider that l is equal to u and theta is equal to v. So the derivation rule, that is derivation of uv is equal to derivation of u that is u derivation of v plus v derivation of u. But as you know that l, which is the length of a string, that is a constant quantity, and that is not changing with the time, and that's why the derivation of length will be 0. And finally we have s dot is equal to l theta dot, and finally we have kinetic energy as 1/2 m l square theta dot square. So the first thing is clear. Now second, that is potential energy. Again we know that potential energy here system is under gravitational force, so the potential energy will be mgh. Here we are calculating this from ground. So what could be h? As you can see here, h is the whole length minus this length. For this instant we can say that this second length is some y. So what is h? H is L minus y, that is L minus y. But what is y? Y is this quantity. Now if you can see, it is making a 90-degree angle, and here we have theta angle. So this y is nothing but L, the hypotenuse of this triangle will be small l, which is the length of a string. So this y is nothing but L cos theta by simple geometry rule. So I can write this L minus y as L minus L cos theta, and that's what we have done here. Instead of h, we have substituted L minus L cos theta. L is common, so we have taken L outside, and finally we have potential is equals to mgl 1 minus cos theta. So the potential is this. Now we have kinetic energy, we have potential energy. So finally Lagrangian for this system, that is Lagrangian for simple pendulum, will be L is equal to 1/2 m L square theta dot square minus mgl under bracket 1 minus cos theta. So the half task is over. Now the remaining thing is we have to find, or we have to substitute this Lagrangian in a Lagrangian equation, and we have to find equation for system. Now as you can see here, we have two coordinates. If it is a spherical system, coordinate system will have three coordinate, which is r, theta and phi. As I mentioned earlier, we have to choose the correct coordinate system. In this case, a spherical coordinate system could be a correct system because it will reduces much of our task. If we choose Cartesian coordinate system for this simple pendulum, then both the x and y coordinate will be changing coordinate, and it will become little bit tedious to solve with the help of Cartesian coordinate system. But in the case of spherical coordinate system, our r coordinate, which is length of a cord or length of a string, remains same. So instead of two coordinate, we have to focus only on one coordinate, which is theta, and that's why the correct coordinate system for this simple pendulum will be spherical coordinate system. Again, this is two-dimensional figure, that's why phi we don't have to consider that. So only two coordinates, that is r and theta. So our Lagrangian equation will have two coordinate, or we have two equations. First one with L, means with r in case of a spherical coordinate system, and second coordinate will be theta. So by considering first coordinate, we have this equation, and by considering second coordinate, we have this equation. What we have done here is, instead of q dot, we have replaced it with L dot, and instead of q, we have replaced it with L. Similarly here, what we have done, instead of q dot, we have replaced it with theta dot, and instead of q, we have replaced it with theta. So simply we have two coordinate, and that's why we have two equations. Now let's consider first equation. We have Lagrangian. Here in bracket we have partial derivative with respect to L dot. If you see our Lagrangian, there is no L dot term, means L dot term is missing, or a Lagrangian does not have L dot term. That's why this bracket or this derivative will be 0. So the first term will vanish, or it will 0. Now the second term, that is the partial derivative with respect to L. Now if you see our Lagrangian, it have L term, and that's why we are partially derivating it, and by partially derivating it we found this ml theta dot square minus mg 1 minus cos theta, and by replacing terms we have this, that is theta dot is equal to under root g by L under bracket 1 minus cos theta. So here first equation for our system is this, that is theta dot equal to under root g by L under bracket 1 minus cos theta. And what is it? Correct, it is theta dot, means it is a rate of change of theta with respect to time. So it is nothing but angular velocity, and the angular velocity of a pendulum is this one, g by L under bracket 1 minus cos theta. So at theta, what will be the angular velocity can be found out by this equation. Now let's move towards second equation. Second equation is this, d by dt d by L by d by theta dot minus d by L by d by theta is equals to 0. We have Lagrangian. In this bracket we have partial derivative with respect to theta dot. In Lagrangian we have term theta dot square, so the derivative of that will be twice of theta dot. So that 2 will be cancelled by this 2, and finally we have ml square theta dot. Again we have the here time derivative of that, and that's why we will have ml square theta double dot as we have found here. So this first term is completed. Now second term, that is d by L by d by theta. As you can see in our Lagrangian, theta term comes here, that is mgl cos theta. So the partial derivative of that will be minus mgl sin theta. Here again we have negative sign, so that negative and this negative, first of all when we multiply this inside, negative will become plus, that will be mgl cos theta. Derivative of that will be minus mgl sin theta, and again here we have negative sign, so that negative sign and this negative sign will become positive sign here. So it's maybe seem a little bit complicated to you, but once try this on paper and you will get that how this positive sign have come. So finally we have Lagrangian equation for theta, and that is ml square theta double dot plus mgl sin theta, and that is equals to 0. Now I can divide whole equation by ml square, and then I will get this equation. Here in first term we have ml square. If I divide this by ml square, this ml square will cancel by that ml square, and here we have theta double dot. And if we divide this second term by ml square, then this L and this square will cancel, m and m will cancel, means we have g divided by L sin theta. So here it comes. So the final equation is theta double dot plus G by L theta is equal to 0. You may wonder that here we have sine theta, but I have shown here only theta. So why is that? As you all know that a sine of very small quantity is equal to that small quantity itself. Means sine of nearly equals to 0 quantity will be a 0 quantity. Or you can, for example, sine of 0.001 will be 0.001. And in a simple pendulum, the movement is very small, so the angle made by that small oscillations will be very small. So the sine of small quantity will be that quantity itself, and that's why this sine theta is replaced by theta. So here we have our final equation, that is theta double dot plus G by L theta is equals to 0. Now if you observe this equation, then this equation is similar to the simple harmonic oscillator, that is double differentiation equation of simple harmonic oscillator, and that equation is this: d square x by dt square plus omega square x is equal to 0, where omega is a angular frequency. If you observe these two equations, then you will find that the first term includes double derivation with respect to time, second term include some constant term and changeable term as it is, and that is equals to 0. Again, we know that time period is nothing but 2 pi by omega. So here in our equation, if we compare it with simple harmonic oscillator, then omega is equals to G divided by L. Omega is equal to under root G divided by L. If we substitute this in this equation, then we will get that for simple pendulum the period is this: T is equal to 2 pi under root L by G. So this is our equation for period of a simple pendulum. Now we have done this lot of equation and solving thing, but what its use in real life? Does it make any sense, or it is just a mathematical thing? Can we do something with the help of this equation? So yes, we can do. As you can see here, the time derivative is dependent on length of a string. It means if we change the length of a string, then the period of a pendulum will change. And what does it mean? Let's see. As you can see here, we can make such a pendulum wave by that equation, and how it is made, we will discuss that once the video is completed. See how beautiful it is. It is a simple pendulum, number of pendulum are there, and finally we can get that beautiful pattern. So that pattern is made by with the help of this time period. So you may be wondering how it is possible, how this equation could help us to make such a wavy pattern of a pendulum. So for the answer, let's see this next video. As you can see here, the length of each pendulum is different. In the right hand side, the description is given. Now see what's happened. Here we have top view and we have front view. If length are changing like this of a pendulum, each pendulum, then the time period will be different and it will make this pattern once we release them. You can observe each pendulum, it is moving in a simple harmonic motion, that is motion, it is repeating its motion in a specific interval of time. So you have seen that if you observe each pendulum, then pendulum is not doing something different, it is only repeating its motion after a period of time. But once if we consider whole system, then the scenario is awesome. Again, this is a toy. Some artists also use pendulum for their artwork, and that is shown in, and that we can see in our next video. So see how the artist use pendulum for their art. So here is the setup. They have poured colors in a bottle, different colors. They have mixed it. So there are 3 bottles connected to each other. We have a white paper where they are drawing, and here you can see this pendulum is 2-dimensional. It is free to move in X and Y in both the direction, and it is making a beautiful pattern. The thing with this pendulum is that this pendulum does not have zero air resistance. It has some air resistance, and that's why its amplitude is reducing. It means that at some point it will come to rest. But again, the scenario is awesome. So such a beautiful drawing with the help of pendulum. There is one more, you can see it. So this is the artwork with the help of pendulum. There is one more, let's see that. Again the setup, they are mixing colors. This time a blue background is chosen. Here it starts again, a pendulum in XY coordinate system. Only thing is that here this pendulum have air resistance, and that's why its amplitude is reducing, means at some point it will come to rest, and that motion is making a beautiful artwork. So here it is. So this is the artwork. So as you have seen, we can use this equation in our day-to-day life. With the help of this equation, we can make something different or something beautiful. So most of you may till now may be thinking that physics is only for textbook or only for exam, but that is not the thing. Physics, you can use it in your day-to-day life. Just you should have that vision. If you have that vision how to use those equations in our day-to-day life, then you can make a very great things from those equations. So that is only the example. Keep thinking, come up with some idea, and you can make some difference. Thank you. And I would like to know from you if you have some idea like this, or if you tried this pendulum thing in your home. Thank you. Like and subscribe. Thank you.